Welcome to another episode of the And Now I Know podcast. I'm your host, 32 Flavazz, and I'm here to inspire you to live life at your fullest potential. If you're looking for a podcast that's going to inspire you to chase your dreams, motivate you to get up each and every day, and help you navigate life just a little bit better, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're watching right now on YouTube. And if you're listening on any streaming platform, I'm talking Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, you name it, be sure to hit that follow button and don't forget to download each episode because I need your downloads, okay? So I am super excited about today's episode. You know why? Because I feel like all of my other episodes have been extremely deep, right? And I love going deep. I'm a deep thinker. I love having deep conversations, but I just wanted to lighten up the energy a little bit, even though the deep conversations are great and they make you feel fulfilled, right? I like to call those episodes the bread. I think it's okay to lighten up, the energy a little bit. And that's where I am in life right now. So I figured, why not? So without further ado, let me just introduce this episode. This episode, we are going to be talking about upgrading your life. We're going to be talking about glowing up, the things I did to glow up to get to this point that I'm in right now, and tips to hopefully help you on your glow up journey or get to give you different ideas to help you continue glowing up, right? Maybe something that you never thought about. So if you are currently glowing up right now, if you are trying to transform your life, if you are looking for more motivation, or like I said, more tips to help you glow up, this is the episode for you. So if you listen to my first, I would say episodes 1 through 3, I pretty much talked about, or I would say almost every episode leading up until this point, but specifically episodes 1 through 3, I talked about the things in very little detail that occurred that made me get to the point in which I am now. You don't just wake up out of your bed, in the morning saying that I want to glow up. Like, I just want to be better. Well, I guess sometimes you do. But for me, it was just a series of events that led me to who I am today, which I'm grateful for. Because I think if everything were to have happened to me at once, or everything would have occurred in my life at once, it would have been a lot, and it probably would have sent me into a freaking depression, right? So, where I am today, I can just say that I spent the past 2 years fully committed to personal development, spiritual growth, and just becoming the best version of myself. Like I said in the past few episodes, I always knew that I was going to be somebody. And in order to be the person that I envisioned myself being, I knew that it was going to take some inner work. I knew that I was going to have to glow up, And so today I'm here to talk about that. And let's just dive right into it. So I break it down into 3 different categories. The first category is going to be physical, right? And when you think physical, my motto is when you look good, you feel good. Let me say that again. When you look good, you feel good. Where are my ladies at that get a mild case of depression and or anxiety whenever your hair is not done, when your lashes not done, when your nails not or toes not done? It kind of just makes you feel crazy and uncomfortable. And it's not that who we are lies in those things, like in getting things done, like services, but just as a woman or a human, you just want to feel good about yourself. And when you look good, you feel good, right? So for me, I'm not so big on the hair because I'll just slick my hair back in a ponytail or a bun. I'm more so like a lashes girl or like a nails girl. Like when my nails are not done or if my lashes are not done, don't even talk to me. Don't even talk to me because the energy might be a little bit different. And that might be superficial, but child, a girl likes what she likes. And I love getting my services done, such as lashes and nails, right? But let's just dive in deeper for real, to the things that I did and the things that I recommend. So the first things first is going to be working out, all right? I always say that health is wealth. So the things that I like to do is go to the gym. If you follow me on my social media platforms, I always post on that Stairmaster. And let me tell you, me increasing a level almost every other time or every week or whatever it is, increases my confidence. Like setting those little challenges for yourself in the gym, picking up new strengths in the gym builds a whole new level of confidence for myself. And I'm sure you too, if you're listening. Like, have you ever thought like, you know what, I'm going to do 50 sit-ups today instead of 25. I'm going to stay in the gym an extra 30 minutes instead of just going in for the quick 30-minute cardio and walking out, you know? So working out, staying in the gym, going on walks, and it is so important to get your vitamin D in, ladies. Not even just ladies, but specifically to the ladies. Like, we need to be outside getting some sun. I know when I'm in the sun, when I'm in nature, when I'm touching the grass, it just makes me feel better. Like when I'm hearing the birds chirping, I know that sounds super, cliche, but it is so important to get outside in nature because we spend so much time on our phones, consuming content, consuming other people's stuff online. That could be a lot. And let's just say you work from home. So not only are you scrolling in your free time on your phone, but you're also spending your workday on your phone. That is a lot that your brain is taking in. And walking outside or doing some type of outdoor activity can help declutter your mind and just bring you back to earth, is what I like to say. Okay, next is going to be signing up for workout classes. So again, if you follow me on my socials, I don't go anymore, but I just quit probably like 2 months ago. I always loved workout classes. So for me, I was always a cycle girly. I love cycling. Every time I went cycling, I burned at least 400 to 500 calories, right? And the classes are so quick. So that is why I love it, because you can go into one of those classes, or not even just cycling, but a lot of classes like that, the high intensity, you can burn off a full meal, right? And that makes me feel good about myself. And when you wear your Apple Watch doing your workout classes and you looking down and you seeing your heart rate is pumping and your calories are boosting up, it just makes you feel, again, good physically. Next is going to be eating clean and cutting out fast food. So let me say this. Right now I'm on a calorie deficit, and I have been posting a lot about meal prepping and things like that. And I can honestly say that I eat way more on the same calorie deficit than I was. Before, I was just fasting until 12 o'clock or fasting until as long as I could in a day and eating one meal. And that meal was probably Picklemans or Chick-fil-A or like Raising Cane's, because that one meal was freaking 1,300 calories. And now I just developed this healthy lifestyle that has honestly helped change my life. Because one, I've seen more results eating more. And two, it's just healthier for the body. And all the stuff that they are putting in this fast food these days, or not even just fast food, the food that's even at the grocery store is questionable. But that fast food can do something to your mind. And I don't want to sound like one of those people and go down a rabbit hole with y'all right now on this podcast, but I think it is so important to watch what we put inside of our body. And I know that life is fast. Some people have children. Some people work long hours of the day and they just don't have time. But I just want to encourage you today to set aside time to meal prep. Set aside time to go to the grocery store, plan out the things that you're going to buy. Like, be intentional when you go to the grocery store, and watch how your mental, like your clarity, your brain function, your memory, all of the benefits of just cooking and preparing your meals at home. Not even just that, the cleanliness. Like, you don't even know what people are doing inside of restaurants or fast food chains. Not saying that everybody is, digging in their nose and touching your food, but you literally never know. Like, people literally, I see all the time, are handling your cash or touching people's cards and then going to prepare an order. I don't care if you just touching the bag. Like, yeah, I can go down a whole thing with that. So next is going to be so the next topic is going to be mental, right? Mental. Mental stimulation is so important. Like, our brains literally need to be stimulated. I think the world that we live in now is so fast paced, and I feel like they have dumbed down the world, for lack of a better term. So you have to go out and seek mental stimulation. Okay, because if you're sitting on your phone all day, that's not going to do it. If you're just sitting on TikTok all day, that's not going to do it. Although I do find my TikTok For You page to be quite helpful and insightful. But y'all, We got to step away from the phones. And I'm one to talk because clearly I'm a content creator and this is just what I do. But I just take time for myself. I try not to post, try not to consume so much of other people's stuff because it could be overwhelming to me, at least. Maybe it's not overwhelming for you. But first things first, I would say is get you something good to listen to and or read. So let's just talk about listening to some things. So I like to listen to podcasts. Obviously, as a podcaster, I like to listen to other people's work and just listen to, just to pick up on different things. But outside of that aspect, I love listening to self-development and self-help podcasts because they really do feed your mind. And it's great to see other people and hear other people's insight on how to become the best version of yourself, whether that's in business, whether that's, in health, finances, whatever. Like, I just love listening to self-development podcasts. And I just want to encourage you guys to go on Apple Podcasts. Obviously, not only just listen to me, but check out there's a million great podcasts out there. There's so many to choose from. It's almost overwhelming, but find you some, okay? Not just mine. Of course, I want you guys to follow mine, but check out some other people. We have some amazing Black girl podcasts, and not even just Black, all different races, because I know it's not just Black people listening, but y'all get what I'm saying. Get you something good to listen to, something that's informative, something that's going to teach you something that's going to make you go, you know what I'm saying? Next is going to be reading books. Now, y'all, I'm going to be real and transparent with y'all. Let me ask you first before we start pointing the finger at me. When the last time you read a book? When the last time you read a full book? Because I know a lot of us go to Barnes & Noble or go and order the book and pick it up for a couple days, read the intro and read chapter 1, and then the book don't see you again for another year. Well, that used to be me, okay? And now I know that the woman that I desire to be, she reads. She physically reads books regularly. It is a part of her routine. Her as in me. She is me, okay? And so I recently have been picking up books lately, y'all, and I have been trying to read them books whenever I have free time, whenever I have downtime. Now, that is not that much, but I have been committed and I feel really, really good. The books that I have been recently reading are Sarah Jake's Power Moves, and the next one is Deion Sanders' Elevate and Dominate. And let me tell y'all, that Deion Sanders' Elevate and Dominate book, I don't know if it's because I feel like he's talking to me. Well, the Sarah Jake's book is amazing too. I feel like she's talking to me as well. But it's something about, like, my delivery when I make my motivational videos are always very firm and direct. And so I like listening to that or reading that type of like book or motivation. Like, I love hearing somebody almost yell at me. I feel like that makes me say, let me get myself together. And that Deion Sanders Elevate and Dominate book is just that. I feel like my uncle talking to me, my dad is talking to me, and that makes me feel really, really good. And the book is extremely insightful, extremely motivational, and I definitely encourage anybody listening to this right now to go pick up that book. I got mine from Target. I think it was like 30% off when I bought it, which was amazing. Who don't like money off? Okay, but moral of the story is, you guys, pick up a book. And I know we can do audio books, and that's great too. No shade, because actually I probably will be finished with my books if I purchase the audio version of the book. But it's just something about, it does something for me to be able to pick up a book and say, you know what, I finished that chapter, or I finished 10 pages tonight. Like, that just makes me, those are the things that build your confidence. Like, those are the things. It's not the outer things that we do. It's really the setting goals for yourself or little challenges for yourself that really do pick you up and, make you feel like, wow, I can conquer the world, or wow, I really did that. Next is going to be putting yourself in the right rooms. For me, this year, I made a conscious effort to at least go to one conference, or put yourself in the rooms in which you will be motivated or uplifted or inspired. And not only conferences, book clubs, or any like self-help clubs or girl clubs, boy clubs, women clubs, mom clubs, whatever that is. We need to be in community, and we need to be surrounded by people who are trying to do the same things in which we want to do, right? And it doesn't have to be the same exact thing, but for example, me and one of my good friends, G, we went to Jackie Hill Perry. I actually talked about this in one of my episodes. We went to Jackie Hill Perry. Why do I keep saying just Jackie? We went to see Meet the Prestons live podcast. It's Jackie Hill Perry and Preston Perry, right? And if you're not familiar with them, go look them up. Phenomenal. In that room, I felt the spirit. In that room, I felt like people were there to gain something, to learn something, to be fed. And I want to surround myself with people who want to be fed. And the people who want to be fed are people who are going to conventions, going to conferences, going to places that they will be taught or learn some things, right? And so that lifts up my spirit, and I want to encourage you to find you a conference, find a live podcast of one of your, favorite shows or podcasts, and go take that trip, book that flight. Something that I really have been looking into is going to Sarah Jake's Surrender Conference or Women Evolve Conference, but the theme of this year is called Surrender. That is on my list. I just haven't done it because I have been busy, but that is something that I'm actually looking forward to, and that's something that I really want to dive into. And I want to make it my duty to at least attend one conference a year, because we need to be fed. Like, we need to take the initiative, because not only did I go to the Meet the Perrys show, I went to Pastor Keon Henderson's conference called Cry Out this year. This was the second year of the conference. I didn't go the first year, but I heard that the second was even greater than the first, and I just know the third is going to be better than the one I went to this year, And in that room, I felt the spirit. I just felt like I released so much. I received so much. Talked about that too, because that happened within the same couple weeks. So go back and watch that episode. I believe it was like episode number 7. But yes, you guys, put yourself in those rooms. Network. Social media is a place that makes it easy for us to network. So if you see a girly or a guy that's doing the things that you want to do, reach out to them, engage with them, connect with them, and see what comes of it. Maybe they can put you on to an event or a conference or something that, that's going on that you can attend to help you grow and become better. Next, I would say, is taking a class or finding a new hobby. So let's just say you want to learn how to do something new. So for some people, that could be taking a lash class, taking a brow class, taking a pottery class, taking a painting class. Do y'all know what I thought about? I thought about going back and taking piano lessons, because when I was a little girl, I took piano lessons, and I was really good at playing piano by ear. I'm almost positive I could sit down and play a little tune, and not just Mary Had a Little Lamb. I can actually like I just love music. I can hear it and boom, 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 play it. And a piece of me wants to actually go and try that out as an adult. We'll see. Who knows? But I do feel like it is important to learn new things and to challenge yourself, because again, when you challenge yourself and when you beat those goals, it helps increase your confidence. And we want to work on confidence from the inside, not just from purchasing something or buying something or having certain things. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than that. Next is going to be journaling, right? So I've been spending all year journaling, and I know a lot of people have been talking about that. So I think that the focus of journaling, or the focus on journaling, has become pretty popular, but it is important to get your thoughts out. I have made my journal like my prayer journal. So every time I write as if I'm writing to God. I say, "Dear Lord," or "Hey God." Like, I talk like I'm writing to him, so that way I can get my prayer out, my thoughts out, and my feelings all at once, because obviously I'm writing to myself, but I want the journals to be, sent to God, even though he already know what I'm thinking. But this is just something that I do, right? So journaling, y'all, it is important to get them thoughts out, right? Sometimes we don't have the resources, or we can't afford therapy, or we're just not in the position, or we don't have the community, or you feel isolated, etc. Start journaling. Get those thoughts out, right? And not only get those thoughts out, get those dreams out, get those visions out. It is so important to write the vision and make it plain. Do y'all know how many things I have sat down, wrote down, and they came into fruition? It starts with the dream, and then once you write it on that paper, don't just type it out on your phone, even though I guess that works too, but write the vision down. The vision needs to be written, and it needs to be put up so that way you can see it. And I'm not even going to say just put up, because some people might not feel comfortable putting their dreams up on a wall, especially if you have people coming into your space. But I do feel like you should have easy access to it. And oftentimes I'll go back into my journal, or I'll go back and, look at my vision board and be like, that came into fruition, or that actually happened. And that helps you and encourages you to keep going. And that lets you know that you are walking in alignment when those things those visions come to life, right? And if you're anything like me, I need to see those signs. Like, I need God to tell me personally, even though he can't come down and sit next to me. I want those signs. Like, Lord, I want to see 3 green cars at between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock if this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm just one of those people. Next, I would say is therapy. Again, everybody's not in the place to go to therapy, but it is something that changed my life, and I am a tough cookie, I would say, or I could have been. I'm not anymore. Or maybe I still am. I don't know. But I'm still navigating through that. But therapy changed my life for the better, right? It made me such a better person, and it made me a better everything. Business person. I talk about therapy all the time. I speak about therapy like I'm the freaking therapy advocate, but everybody needs a little therapy. It is life-changing, especially if you have a good one, okay? Because some people, I hear their therapy experiences, and I'm just like, whoa, total opposite of what I went through, right? And then next is, like I said, finding a new hobby. So find you something to do is my phrase. Like, get you something new to do, whether that's walking, joining a run club, like picking up a new skill. It is so important to do those things to help stimulate your mind. So my third category will be spiritual. Of course, I had to save the best for last. So it is very important for us to exercise our faith. And the best way to exercise our faith is, 1, getting in your word. You got to get in your word, y'all. The answers are not in people. The answers are not in these streets. The answers is not in your man. The answer is not in that woman. The answer is in that book, right? And a lot of times we don't really set enough time aside to read it. For those that do, kudos to you, and keep doing your thing. But I'm going to say that I need to dedicate a little bit more time in my book. Setting aside time. I feel like sometimes you can get so caught up in life and just moving so fast and like checking off your routine that you'll be like, dang, I only gave God 10 minutes. I only gave him 15, which sometimes is better than no time. But when you know better, you do better, right? Next, I would say going to church. A lot of people say, oh, I don't have to go. I don't have to go. Let's talk about it. I love watching church, and there are some amazing pastors that are not in my city that I watch, right? But there is something about being in the atmosphere. There's something about that praise and worship when you are in the house. Sometimes I think that you gotta, not sometimes, because I've been going to church, okay? But I think it's very important for us as Christians, or I don't know what you are when you're listening. I'm assuming you're Christian. It is very important for us to be in the house, right? I do know that God is the light, and he's going to guide you. And without exercising your faith, you kind of relying on your own understanding and not his, And we always talk about religion versus relationship. And the only way to strengthen a relationship is by spending quality time. We got to treat our relationship with God like the relationship with other people. How are you going to expect a relationship to work with your boyfriend or girlfriend if you don't spend no time with them? So how are you going to expect a good relationship with the Lord if you do not spend time with him? Like, you got to pray. You got to talk to him. That's like being in a relationship and you don't talk to the person that you with. but you expecting to hear something. You expected to get some attention. You get what I'm saying? So that is how I try to look at it. And I'm not perfect and I could be better, but shoot, I've been faithful. That's all I've been saying is I've been faithful. And I just want to say this, y'all. All in all, it is so important to invest in yourself. Make those investments. Do the things that are going to make you happy. And it's not just about the outer, okay? I'm not just talking surgery. I'm not just talking the Botox, the filler. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about doing the things, making the investments in yourself that are going to take you to the next level. It's all about getting to the next level. If you're not trying to get to the next level, then I don't really know what you're doing. Like, are you living life or you letting life live you? Okay? Are you like, what we doing here? And that's what I ask myself all the time. Okay, girl, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? And you have to have that mindset with yourself because sometimes you can fall off and get too comfortable, right? No, I'm never, like, that's never been my personality to be comfortable. Now, that also can cause some type of anxiety, which is what I'm currently working through, like, never getting comfortable, never settling down. Like, you do need rest. But once you get done resting, babe, get up and go find you something to do. And do the thing that God wants you to do. Not just some random stuff that you think that you should be doing. And when you are doing all of this, when you are trying to become the best version of yourself, when you are trying to glow up, you're going to have to reprogram your mind. Because you are so used to being one way. And our brain is used to a certain routine. Our brain is used to reacting or behaving or doing things the same way that we have been doing for years, right? Or for months or whatever. You're going to have to break habit. And it is not easy to break habit. Breaking habits is hard. Breaking habits, sometimes you're going to have to make sacrifices. You're going to have to die to your flesh. You're not going to be able to go and put yourself in certain rooms that you used to. Maybe you can't go to the club no more. Maybe you can't listen to certain music anymore. The things that are going to tempt you and lead you in the direction that you're not trying to go anymore. You got to go the opposite way. And in order to go the opposite way, you got to do the opposite of what you've been doing. You have to become who you want. Especially my people who are single. Single ladies, single men, whoever's listening to this right now. You have to become the person that you want. We are what we attract. And that's not even just for relationships, intimate relationships. That is with friendships. That's with business. You are what you attract. So if you're a fraud, you're going to attract frauds. If you are inspiring, you're going to attract people, I'm assuming, that are inspiring, or you could be attracting people who want some inspiration. But y'all get what I'm saying. Like, you really do have to become the person that you want to attract. You want to be healthy. You want to be around healthy people. You have to be a healthy person. Or you want to be with a person that cares about the Lord. You need to be going to church. You need to be caring about the Lord. You want to be this person. You can't expect somebody to be what you are not. And that's just period. And a lot of times we be like, I want my man to be this. I want my man to be that. I want my woman to be this. I want my woman to be that. And you're not any of those things. Like, how are you going to expect more from somebody else that you are not? And that is what I have been doing a lot of focus on, like becoming the person that I want, in my life. Not just romantically, but as a friend, as a mentor. Like, I want to be that person for myself. And I'm going to easily be able to spot out what's for me and what's not, right? Next, I would want to say that with change comes adversity. With change comes adversity. Change is not easy. You're going to have moments where you fall off, where you fall back, where you might crash out. I have moments, especially when I'm PMSing, where I get one more extra chocolate chip cookie and I know I've been meal prepping and watching what I've been eating. Sometimes you backslide, and sometimes ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of straightening. Shout out to the Migos. Like, sometimes you fall off, but as long as you pick back up and try again, because adversity is going to come when you're doing something that you're not used to doing. But we must continue to push through and persevere despite all things. Like, when I fall off, I wake up the next day and say, you know what, we're going to try again. But you don't want to make that a habit. That's like praying to God, like, God, I'm so sorry for doing this. I'm so sorry for doing this. Even though you can keep praying to him a million times about that thing, it becomes a little crazy when you keep talking about you don't want to do nothing no more and you keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. And lastly, I want to say, you guys, know your strengths and your weaknesses. It is so important to know what you are good at and what you need to work on. Because the things that you need to work on, I don't even like calling them weaknesses. But the things that we could be working on are things that we could focus on, right? So we can have a couple more strengths than weaknesses. Because some of your weaknesses are things that you need to work on could be something small and something not so big. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me just use an example. Reacting. Like, one of your weaknesses could be how you react to things, being too quick to react. You could start practicing reacting a little bit slower. You know what I'm saying? And that might be harder for some than it is for others, but that is something that you can just work on starting right now. And so look at your strengths and your weaknesses. First of all, you want to continue to focus, like strengthen your strengths, but also like manage your weaknesses and try to get some of those weaknesses over into that strength category, you know? And again, it may sound easier than what it actually is, but I believe that we can do anything that we put our minds to. As long as it's in God's will, He gonna make it happen. And you gotta believe in yourself. And there are so many people out there that do not believe in themselves. Period. I say this all the time. Like, people, it is okay to need inspiration, motivation, and all of those things, but you got to believe in yourself first. Like, how somebody else going to talk something into you that you're not talking into yourself? What's that one gospel song? Sometimes you got to encourage yourself. Encourage yourself. Speak over yourself. Period. Okay? We got to be our biggest cheerleaders. We have to be our biggest support systems. We have to give ourselves the hugs, the love, the compliments that we want other people to give us. Because once you start taking yourself seriously, everybody else going to start taking you seriously. You want to know one thing I love? It might push some people away, but I know a lot of people know Jay not playing. 32 ain't playing. Because I'm not playing. I'm not playing about myself. I'm not playing about my dreams. I'm not playing about my vision. And I want to encourage you to do the same thing. Be so serious about yourself, because other people are going to know this person is not nothing to play with. And you might get tested. That don't mean you won't get, tried by people. But most of the time, people are going to know she cares about herself. He cares about herself. So let me watch how I play. You know what I'm saying? People handle you different when you care about yourself. People handle you different when they see that you are taking care of yourself and you mean business and you are taking the steps to become the best version of yourself. I think people handle me different because I handle myself different. People got to see something, because a lot of people just be talking about what they want to become and they don't be doing nothing to become it. You see, I don't want to hear nothing about people talking about what they want to be, because I'm a doer. And you got to be a doer out here if you want to go take yourself to the next level. And like I always say, I want to become the person that God designed me to become. And the only way I'm going to become that person is if I stop doing the things that I used to do. Only if I do things better, become better, strive for better. And it's not just about achievements or accomplishments. You got to become better for you, your insides. Like, make your insides better. Be the best mom. Be the best dad. Be the best friend. Be the best partner, husband, wife. Whatever you are, like whatever your title is in the world, like, be the best at that. And that's just all I got to say. So, I said I was going to keep it light, and then I ended up preaching. But it's all good. Sometimes people need a little preach. So, without further ado, y'all know I always close out each episode with the And Now I Know segment. And now I know that you got to put yourself first. You got to do what's best for you sometimes. And what's best for you might be setting boundaries. Might be, putting your routine over taking care of helping other people, putting your peace of mind over other people, saying no, is the answer. You get what I'm saying? Like, once I started taking care of myself, I started realizing, like, it is okay to put yourself first sometimes. That don't mean be selfish, but sometimes you got to do and make the choices that are going to be most beneficial to you. So that is what I have taken away in this season. And I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in again. I believe that this is episode number 10. Period, y'all. We doing it. We killing it. And I'm proud of myself because I wasn't going to film today. Like, if you're listening to this right now in your car, in your bathroom, wherever you are, like, I wasn't going to film today. But I said, you know what? I will feel bad if I don't do what I said I was going to do. So here I am doing what I said I was going to do. And look at my confidence rising. Boop. 10 more points. So if you're listening right now, again, I want to say thank you so much for supporting me and my podcast. Don't forget to follow the podcast page at And Now I Know Podcast on TikTok and Instagram. Instagram get all the extra love though, I'm not going to lie. And follow my personal page at 32 Flavors across all platforms. And if you have not already found out that I'm back vlogging, so go on the 32 Flavors YouTube and be sure to check out my most recent vlog. And yes, you guys, I'm super excited to be back in this chair. Every time I sit down, I know I'm about to cook a good word. So shout out to you guys. And thank you again for listening to the And Now I Know podcast. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. If you're watching right now, go hit that subscribe button. Go hit that like button. Comment, please, because I love your comments. And if you're watching it, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever, please, y'all, leave me a comment. Leave me a comment. Leave me a rating. Because you know we need to be five-star chicks. I'm a 5-star chick. Because some of y'all gave me 5-star ratings. So shout out to you guys for all the love and support. Again, thank you. Love you guys. Until next time.